Even though we all have 365 days in a year, what if I told you the average person last year lost 180 days simply because they don't know how to handle conflict? When I break it down to you, it's going to make all the sense in the world. So stick around to the very end. I got a PDF for you to look at with today's content, as well as a quiz to take to find out what drives you. So let's get right into it. Look, when it comes down to conflict, most conflicts in your life happen because of a personality. And there's really three different people in your life you deal with. One are people you directly report to that are superior to you. Your boss, your investor, your board, your father, anybody that is above you that has some kind of a leadership role over you. That's one type of a personality. They challenge you, they push you, they expect more from you. That generates conflict. The other types of people you have conflicts with are people at the same level as you. This could be your brother, your sibling, your best friend, your coworker, somebody at the same level as you that you're having conflicts with. Then those that are below you, somebody that reports direct to you, your kids, it could be an employee, it could be a client, any of that stuff that reports to you, you're having conflicts with. So now, if you look at it from this perspective, people you report to, your people at the same level as you, or people below you, which one of them did you have the most conflicts with in 2022? By the way, I want you to think about the three names this year that caused you the most headache. Was it your spouse? Was it your boss? Was it somebody who reports to you? What was it? Make a list of those three names. When you think about those three names, look for commonalities. Do all three of them generally fall in the same category? People that report to you, or people that you were co-worker with, or people that you report to. If you do see a trend, you will notice you have a challenge with one of those three, or two of those three. Either you don't know how to work with people above you because, and you know this yourself, you know, a lot of people, everybody wants to blame their boss, but maybe you don't know how to deal with them. And you got to learn how to work with them better. It's either going to be somebody that's same level as you or below you. Here's the one thing. The people that are above you, if you're having a hard time working with. I was just watching a video by 50 Cent. He said something very powerful. Good friend of mine, Robert Greene, wrote a book called 48 Laws of Power. It's a book that not a lot of people recommend, but they read. It's one of those books. Make sure nobody else reads it, but I got to read it myself, and I hope nobody else reads it. And you'll see a lot of people reference stories from that book, but they don't want to recommend the book. You know what's the number one law in that book, 48 Laws of Power, written by Robert Greene? Never outshine my master. He uses the word master. Now, obviously, that's like your report, your leader, your CEO, your father, whoever it is, right? And 50 Cent says he reports to who found him in the league. Eminem did. Who found Eminem? Dre. Eminem always respects Dre. 50 always respects M. You know who else he talks about when he talks about Drake? He says, I always tell Drake, hey, always respect Wayne. Anytime you're around him, never outshine him. Always give the love to him. Because what? That is a very important relationship to take care of, okay? Because you want to have a good relationship here, because more loyalty they have to you, the more they're doing behind closed doors for you. The more they're threatened by you, the less they want to do for you behind closed doors. So you got to always give the respect here. If it's a person at this level, maybe you're super competitive, which is fine, but you're not collaborative. Maybe you got to figure out a way to have a better relationship here. If it's your sibling, if it's your best friend, whatever it could be, there's a different approach to take here. And then those that go down, maybe you're not that good of a leader. Maybe you're a little too rough on your guys. Maybe you don't inject belief on them. Maybe you don't know that anytime you start to criticize somebody, always start off by saying what they're doing right, then feed the criticism, and then finish it with lifting them up and saying, hey, listen, I want you and I still believe in you. This is just one mistake. We're going to get better, but I believe in you. You've done a great job. The one saying that I heard 17 years ago by a movie, Mary Poppins, and she would say the following line: just a spoon full of sugar makes the medicine go down. The medicine go down. If the medicine is criticism and feedback, give a little sugar. I believe in you. You've done a great job. Maybe your approach needs to get a little bit better when you're working with people below you. Now, here's the other game that we're going to be playing. Those three names that I had you thinking about, how many days did you lose in 2022 because of those three people? Because you don't know how to handle conflict with those types of people. Your relationship with your boss, your relationship with a direct report to you, your relationship with somebody that's at the same level as you. How many days did you lose? Sleepless nights, not coming into work with a good attitude. You just had a bad attitude at times. You were frustrated. Your mind was preoccupied. You didn't sell as good as you typically do. You didn't produce as good as you do. You didn't handle issues as good as you typically do. You didn't show up to meetings that you typically do because your mind is preoccupied. So you could have typically come out of 9, but because you're thinking about it, you came out of 6. Those are lost days. Those lost days end up being lost revenue days, lost dollar days, lost growth days. What did that cost you last year, okay? We did this exercise with few hundred business owners that are doing anywhere between $1 million to $100 million per year, and you saw the answers. These are people that are multimillionaires. Man, last year, one guy who does $40 million a year, he says, I lost 270 days last year. Wife is sitting right next to him saying, I agree, maybe more, because that's all he ever talked about. He could not handle one conflict with a direct report. Another person, I lost 180 days. Another person, I lost 95 days. These are professional millionaires that are losing those types of days. How many days did you lose? So you may have had 365 days, but you ended up only really having 60 days of high productivity days because you don't know how to handle some of these personalities that are working with you. So I don't know I'm not sitting down right now, kneecap to kneecap with you to say, here's how to deal with these personalities. You know who those people are in your life. And you got to come out with a better strategy in your life, because if there's a goal that I have every year going into 2023, and I did this years ago, because back in the days, something would happen, I would lose a month and a half, 2 months. And I'm just thinking, I'm so frustrated about it. I'm like, I can't afford to do this anymore. So I put a goal for myself. You know what it was? Every year, I cannot lose only single-digit days, which is 9. Not 11 days, not 28 days, not 73 days. I can only lose 9 days. That's the permission I give myself. No more than 9 days I can lose. So what happens? You got to address the conflict sooner. You got to make the call. You got to get ahead of it. You got to sit down in front of them. You got to ask them what's bothering them. You got to share with them what bothered you. You got to share with them what your expectation is, so nothing's being dead weight. The more you do that up front, rather than sitting on it and saying, I'm not going to call that person, I'm not going to do this, you're just costing yourself a third of the year. Half of the year. It's just not worth it. It's hurting your life, it's hurting your joy, it's hurting your peace of mind, and it's hurting your career. No matter what business you're in, CEO, founder, executive, manager, employee, support, doesn't matter what role you're playing, it's affecting your life. So having said that, I got a PDF for you to download so you can write down the names and really calculate how many days you lost, and also share this with the employees, your teammates, your family members. Click here. It's also going to be in the description. Number 2, if you want to take a quiz to learn more about your personality, you may not even know how you are, on why some personalities are having a hard time working with you. There's 4 personalities. One of them is individuality, which are driven about what things are for you. 2 is advancement. 3 is purpose. 4 is madness. Click here to take the quiz, or go to pbdquiz.com, and you'll find that after, I think it's like 25 questions, you're going to learn a lot about yourself. Having said that, take care, everybody. Bye-bye, bye-bye.